Hi, this is Paul, and today at Freedom7motox we're going to be looking at juicing. Now, what is juicing, you may ask, and what are the benefits? Basically, juicing is taking vegetables or fruit and using a machine that extracts the juice, the nutrients, the goodness, leaves behind the fiber. Now, another good thing about juicing is that when vegetables and fruit are in their raw state, they're full of enzymes. Now, when we eat them, the enzymes that are in the fruit or the vegetables break down what we've ingested inside our body. Now, when we cook vegetables, we actually, not only do we get rid of most of the nutrients in there, but we actually kill the enzymes. So when we ingest the fruit or vegetables, then it has to take enzymes from our body, depleting our body, to break down the food. Now, that's where we get like calcium deficiencies, osteoporosis in your bones and stuff. Your bones become brittle. Also, one other good thing that I love about juicing is the fact of, as a child, I hated things like vegetables, basically. I think maybe cabbage I liked. But the great thing with juicing is that you can take stuff like, whatever vegetables you don't like, which are, that are good for you, like spinach and sprouts and carrots, any of these vegetables, and you can add stuff like apples to them or oranges to them or carrots. I know I said carrots, but because they're all sweet. So basically you can offset the horrible taste of certain vegetables with sweet vegetables. Beetroot's another good one. That's very sweet. So that's another benefit of juicing. Also, with juicing, when you use this machine, you can get, and this is an old school machine, that's why you have to cut it up into small pieces, but when you use this machine, it actually separates, like I said, the juice and the goodness and the vitamins, and separates that from the fiber. Now, what that technically does is it pre-digests the food. So when we ingest the food, all we're taking in is that nutrient. So if we was to actually eat it in its natural form, we take that down, and then basically the body separates the goodness from the fiber. Now, if you've noticed, when you eat, after you eat, you feel kind of like a little bit sluggish, a little bit tired. That's because all the blood in the body is now going to the stomach and is starting to digest and break down that food. So with a juice, you don't feel kind of like tired and depleted after. And actually, the best time to juice is first thing in the morning, because your body's gone through the whole night without any nutrients at all, or even any liquid, any moisture. So I've just come back from a hike with my dog, which I do every morning. And when I get back, the first thing I do is have a juice. Okay then, so let's have a little look at what we have here. Dark green vegetables are really good. There's a lot of chlorophyll and a lot of iron in them that are really good for your body. So here we have what's called curly kale. You can wash that off, buy it from the package, grow it in your garden, whatever. Spinach is another good one. I eat spinach, remember. Now this is a little bit crazy, and it'll probably freak a little people out. You know what this is? Stinging nettles. Now, basically, what you want to do is just take kind of like the clump top part of them. So you're talking at maybe like the 3 or 4 top leaves. Obviously, use some gloves for doing this. Give them a good wash off, but they are as good, if not better, than spinach. And also, they grow all over the place. And they're grown obviously they grow wild, so the soil's not turned over. So all the nutrients and goodness that's in the soil are right there in there, where at least if you buy like stuff from like Sainsbury's, Tesco, so on, it's mass produced, so that there's a lot of depletion in the soil. What else have we got? Celery, awesome. Carrots, vitamin C, beta carotene in that. Oranges, vitamin C again. Beetroot, really, really good for you. This actually is the #1 blood builder. Then we have ginger. This helps to, like, you know, clean the body through and get rid of like worms and all this kind of stuff. And people go, oh, worms, oh no. Everybody has worms in their body. It's in meat, it's in fish, it's in vegetables, and these help to like clean you through. It's the same thing with lemons. Lemons clean you through too. So you can do major research on this. You can look into it a little bit better. I'm just kind of like introducing it to you. Now, a lot of people will say, you know, don't mix vegetables with fruit and certain this with certain that and so on. The best thing to do is like anything, you know, you have to experiment for yourself and see what best suits you. But like I say, always try and get like a lot of greens in there because they're really, really good for your body. Now, you probably can't see, maybe if I can lift this up a bit, but there's like major food here. Can't get out. There's like loads of food here, loads of it. Now, the thing is that are we really going to sit down and ingest this on a daily, you know, either in its raw form or cooked? It's like, that's just so much food to like ingest. So that's another benefit, is because now we're extracting all the goodness out of it. We'll probably end up maybe with, I don't know, probably 2.5 of these. Now, I've got enough here for myself and my wife. So, you know, you can ingest such goodness in just in a little glass. It's amazing. That's another thing that I love about it. So let's get on with this. I'll probably speed this up in post, but I'm going to basically go through this and whack it on. So what I've done here is, before I get started, I've actually cut the apples and the oranges up into smaller pieces because this is kind of like an old school machine. I've had this one for like 5 years. The new modern machines, you just put them in like the big sizes and whatnot. I've taken the skin off the orange. I haven't taken it fully off. There's a little bit on there. It's not too big of a deal. The lemons, I haven't even bothered with that. Make sure you wash everything through though. Get off all the dirt and whatnot. Here we go. As you could notice there, the motor was straining a little bit. It's the same in motocross, man. It's like you hear it straining back off a little bit. You know, flip the clutch a little bit. Just take your hand off pushing this in. Just let the motor pick back up again. Now, with things like spinach or kale or any kind of loose vegetables, even the stinging nettles here, basically you just take like a little clump of them, kind of like push them together a little bit and then just feed them in and then push them down. Obviously make sure this is off when you're doing this, please. Just push them in. You haven't got to like cram them completely, but what you do want to do is kind of compress them a little bit. Because if you don't compress them, when you push the plunger down, if they're loose, it's going to fly through and it's not going to like squeeze them enough to get the juice out of them. So you do want to kind of like, you know, not like I say, not pack them in there like solid, otherwise the motor's just not going to move. But once you've done this a few times, you'll kind of get the feel for it. So. Okay, just put these few last little bits in. Oh. Okay, the nettles. Now I know this sounds really, really weird, and trust me, the first time I did it myself, I freaked out a little bit. No, I didn't really freak out, but I was like, freaking nettles, this is just mad. But when you taste them, the taste is very, very strong. Now what that taste is all the nutrients, the concentration of nutrients that are in there. So basically I've just, like I say, take the top 3 to 4 leaves and then give them a good wash off and then compact them. It doesn't matter if you get the stalks in too much. Like I say, you know, this is just kind of like a guide, so you know, it's down to you guys to how much you really want to go to town on this kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, once you start taking juices and you've been juicing for about a week, you're never going to go back. You're going to feel like just buzzing. Okay. And then what I like to do is just finish off with the apples. I don't know, they're very, got a lot of juice in them, so I just finish off with them anyway. What I like to do is just add a little bit of water to it. Yeah, about a third of a glass or whatever. And then this is just basically, with the motor running, it's just going to wash through all that to make sure you're getting everything out of the machine. Tip it up, make sure you get everything out. Spoon here. Give it a nice stir. Look at that. That is just energy, nutrients. It's like turbo boost. Absolutely delicious. Now let me just show you one thing. Now, if you can see that, all that there is the fiber that's been extracted. That's what your body has to break down to get all that goodness. So you can understand how much like strain that puts on your body, on your digestive system. So there we go. This was Paul for Freedom7 Motocross. This is a little introductory to juicing. I'm actually going to be speaking to some raw food specialists, and we'll take this to a whole nother level. Also, I'm going to do one on smoothies, protein shake, that kind of stuff. So take care. I look forward to seeing you soon.